Today, we would like to talk with you about fear. It's the four-letter word that a lot of us just try and avoid, but it's important for us to talk about. And specifically for us today, we're talking about the fears that almost kept us from hitting the road full-time in our RV.
So when it came to the whole process of getting ready to hit the road full time, there were probably about 100 different fears that came into our heads and kept us up at night. But these are the main ones that kind of stick out the most to us.
So what you've got to understand before we jump into these fears is that we had never RV'd before, okay? Ever. We had never camped. We were horrible parents. Never took our kids out camping.
We're hotel people.
More hotel people. So this whole idea was completely new to us. And we were starting from scratch, literally from zero, figuring everything out. So obviously there were a lot of fears that we had to conquer because we knew nothing. So
Fear number one, poop. Yeah, I said it, poop.
yeah, the other four-letter word.
So, I mean, that was a fear. The whole sewer situation was a big fear of mine. Not that you're not talented in figuring things out, but the only thing that I had ever seen about RVing was clips from that movie with Robin Williams, RV.
Mm-hmm.
And the one clip I've seen is where he's covered from head to toe with stuff. So the whole sewer connection and how that all worked was a big fear of mine. Are we going to be able to figure this out? Are we going to have instances where he's covered from head to toe and stuff and he's going to want to come in the RV and shower and just, I know. It's crazy. It's crazy how your mind works with the fears, but
it's true.
That was fear number one.
Fear number two, damage, wrecking, breaking things, okay? I had never even owned a truck before, okay? Before we decided to get the travel trailer and truck. I mean, I'd driven them, of course, but I'd never owned one. I'd towed a very small trailer when we were moving and stuff like that. That was it. I had never towed anything. I was a total noob. So I was terrified of breaking this brand new trailer that we got, making a mess out of life, complicating things, yada yada yada.
Backing into spaces,
specifically
and
backing
into a tree.
in. Absolutely, just not thinking there's things just waiting to jump out behind me and all that stuff. I mean, I was really terrified, and just had to jump in and tackle it slowly. So now that we've been on the road for a full year plus, I can tell you that yes, we have had a couple of close calls with me backing into things, but luckily I had my two boys, usually one on each corner, to keep things from happening. So that helped us out a whole lot.
I've had people say that we look like a pit crew, that everybody has their own jobs and we just kind of work in this order that we don't even have to talk about who does what next, but we can be out of a spot in like half an hour.
Yeah, if we've got to, we can move really fast, and everything's just kind of down to rhythm now. So it took a little while, but we got there.
And you haven't damaged anything?
I have not broken anything yet.
You haven't driven off with the awning on open still?
No jacks down, nothing crazy like that. So we're
knock on wood.
Oh yeah. We're doing all right.
Fear number three, what if we absolutely hate this lifestyle? We had no idea what to expect other than what we watched on videos of other full-timers. And some of them kind of talk about the realities, but for the most part, it's like this dream. You're sitting outside with a glass of wine, watching the sunset in front of a fire, you know, and it's just like magical.
Yeah.
But we knew that was not always going to be the reality. So we thought, what if we hate this? What if we're in this for 2 months and we're like, I can't do this? But we told each other a year. We were going to do this for a year. We were going to stick it out. And guess what? We love it.
We're past the year mark now. We're going to continue going, and we're just going to see how it feels as we keep moving forward. Fear number 4, finances. Lots of unknowns, lots of questions when you step into an adventure like this. And it's hard. It's hard to kind of put some of them aside and know that you don't know everything, but still move forward. For us, it had been a good year in business, and so we had that kind of backing us up. We had a house that we were selling that we were making some profit on, and so from a financial perspective, it got us started off on the right foot. But still, you don't know everything that's going to unfold through that year and how you would deal with it or approach it, because it's just a totally different scenario than what you're used to. So we had all that in front of us and had to ask the questions and deal with the fears and still keep moving forward, because we knew that this lifestyle was something that we wanted to experience, that the adventure, getting out in nature, all those pieces were more important to us than the financial questions that still lingered. And a year later, everything has worked out really well.
And those same financial fears can happen when you're living in a house.
Right.
I mean, my fear was, well, what if I wake up one morning and my business is non-existent? Something happens, something can always happen. Well, that could have happened when we were at a house,
Yep.
and we would have had to figure out, okay, so what's the next step? So this lifestyle makes that a little more complicated, I think,
Yeah.
but nothing that you can't push past. And we obviously think about finances differently. Most of the time,
What?
I know, weird, right?
Strange.
Most
I
of
never noticed that. That's weird.
I'm like, we'll be fine. We'll live on love and wine.
Love and wine. There you go.
So we had to kind of tackle that when we were setting off for launch date and all that. But we worked through it.
Indeed.
Fear number 5, will this work for our kids? That was a big fear. And that
Dang
was,
kids, they complicate everything.
no, we should have just left them home. You know? But that is a question that we got a lot, because a lot of full-time RVers are either single or retired, or they have younger kids.
Mm-hmm.
We have a unique situation where we have a college kid, a kid who had graduated high school, and then our 14-year-old. So, you know, I thought, is this going to make them like socially awkward? Not going to have a lot of social activity as they would, you know, going to school and that kind of thing. But I think they're fine. No, they are fine. It hasn't, and with the social thing, I know that's a big question. And the full-time family community is a very tight-knit community. There's Facebook groups galore, and you can find where other families are, and you can connect with them, which we've done and has been great. We're about to travel with a full-time family in Canada. Woo-hoo. And yeah, we're excited. And, you know, we're just looking forward to that. And that's friend time for our kids, friend time for us, because we also need social interaction. But obviously the kid thing was a big question, and it probably will always be a question as long as we do this, but so far so good.
So with our college student, that added another layer. She's going to college in northern Texas, and we're taking off. You know, we're sitting here about to take off to go all around the country while she's sitting there in Texas. And you wonder, how is this all going to come together, and, you know, her moving in and out of the dorm and blah, 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 all those pieces. And it's been an adventure for sure. It's been a little challenging, but she's been able to fly out and meet us in Denver for Christmas break. She met us in Florida for spring break, and then she met us in North Carolina for her summer break this year. After getting herself all moved out of the dorm and everything on her own, we didn't have to make the trip back there, so that worked out really well. So all in all, it's been hurdles, but it has not been roadblocks that we couldn't overcome, and it's worked out really well so far.
And as far as Josiah, he had graduated, and then we were hitting the road. He was taking a gap year, and so we're like, okay, what is that going to look like for him? But now that we've been on the road for over a year, this is actually something that he is considering and would love to do on his own, travel full time. So I think that right there speaks for itself for, will this work for our kids?
Yeah.
I think so.
It expands their horizons. That's what you have to remember, is you have to think less about whatever damage you think it might do and think more about the horizons that you're going to expand and the things that you're going to open them up to through the travel. And that's what kept us going. Hey guys, just wanted to take a second here at the end and talk about the fact that during that video we said fear or afraid or scared or terrified 20 different times at least. That's what I counted. And it really just made me start thinking about, I mean, obviously how central fear was in this experience of us hitting the road, but more broadly, just really how central fear is in our lives and the control that it has over us when we don't even realize it, and the ways that it steers and shapes our lives. It's something that's been very central for me over the past couple of years, discovering that about myself, discovering the fears that are lurking back there. I think it's one of the most important things that we can do, whatever path we're on in life, is to stop and deeply examine those fears and determine what you need to do to keep them under control and not allow them to take control of your life and take the control away from you. So just something to think about as we move forward with our journey, and as you move forward with your life. What role is fear playing, and how much power do you want to give it? Hope that helps you. Something we're going to continue to talk about as we make our videos, but for now, hope you enjoyed the video. Just ask you to give it a like and give it a share. Be sure and subscribe if you haven't yet, and there'll be plenty more coming at you. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye-bye.